Following is a class on the Caitanya Charitamrta, Ajya Leela, Volume 1, Chapter 1, Text 1, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on March 25th, 1975, in Mayapur, India.
Isha bhaktan, isham, ishavatarakan, tat prakashanscha, tat shakti, Krishna Chaitanya Sangha. Krishna Chaitanya is Krishna. That was observed by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He composed 100 verses praising the glories of Lord Chaitanya. But because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was playing the part of a devotee, he toned out the slokas because this is not for me. That was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's humbleness. But the devotees know that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna nahe anna. Radha Krishna combination of Sri Chaitanya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu means Radha and Krishna combined. In the beginning there is Krishna, and then Krishna divided into two, Radha and Krishna, and then again combined. That is Sri Chaitanya. Radha Krishna Pranaya Brikiti Alladini Shakti Rasma Ekatmanavapi Deho Vedo Gato Dho Chaitanya Prakatamadhuna Tadvayam Chaikamarta. So, the Goswami Siddhanta that Krishna is one. There is no rivalry with Krishna. God is one. Eka Brahma Dvitiya Nasti. There cannot be many gods. So, when God, Krishna, wants to enjoy his pleasure potency, that is Radharani. So, he manifests himself, manifests his energy and he, there is no difference. Shakti, Shakti Matayo, Abheda. The Shastra says Shakti and the Shakti Mat, when one who possesses the Shakti, Shakti means power, potency, they are equal. There is no difference. Just like the sun. Sun is the powerful, and the sunshine is the power. So, there is heat in the sun and there is heat also in the sunshine. There is light in the sun and there is light in the sunshine also. Therefore, qualitatively they are one. So far heat and light is concerned. But the temperature of the sun and the temperature of the sunshine may be different. Maybe not, actually there is difference. This is the basic principle of all philosophies. Achinta Veda Ved. Achinta means inconceivable. Veda means different, and Aveda means non-different. The whole situation, the one is there, God, but he has expanded himself in different way. ekam bahushyam. So that is described here. Krishna Chaitanya Sangakam. Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has expanded himself as Guru. The Guru, the spiritual master, he is also Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sakshad Haritena Samasta Shastrai Rupta. In all the Shastras, Guru is accepted as Krishna. Sakshad Haritena. Sakshad means direct. Just like you offer your devotion, respects to Guru, so that respect is offered to Krishna. Guru also does not think himself that he is Krishna, but he collects the devotional services of the disciples to offer to Krishna. This is the process. We cannot approach Krishna directly. We should approach through Guru. Tasmad Gurum Prapaddeta Jignasu Sreya Uttamam. That is the injunction of the Shastra. The one should approach the Guru who can transfer the service from the disciple to the Supreme Person. So, therefore, the first offering is Guru, Bande Guru. Then, Guru creates many devotees. Guru's business is to canvass on behalf of Supreme Lord. That is Guru's business. Krishna says, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam bhaja. You give up all material enemies. Sarvadharman means in the material world we have created so many so-called duties. This is our material disease. People are interested in material engagements and they have created different varieties of engagements. Sociology, communism, thisism, thatism, philanthropism, altruism, internationalism, nationalism, many duties they have created. That is all material. Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, stop the children. Out of his causeless mercy, he comes, he descends. Jada jada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bhara. Glani, this is glani. Human life is meant for one thing, athata brahma jigyasa, to inquire about the supreme absolute truth. But instead of doing that, they have created so many isms. That is their misfortune. Real business is athata brahma jignasa. This human life, nature gives us the opportunity to inquire about the absolute truth. We have got the intelligence. The cats and dogs, they have no intelligence to inquire about the absolute truth. The trees, the plants, the aquatics, the animals, the beasts, the uncivilized man, so many, 8,400,000 forms and species of life. Out of that, the civilized man, the Aryans, Arya. Arya means the person who has got godly qualification. This is the meaning of Arya. Aryan, advanced. Aryan does not mean godless society. They are non-Aryans. Real Aryan means Because we are part and parcel of God. Naturally, we have got in minute quantities the qualities of God. That is natural. But on account of our material association, those qualifications are covered by upadhi, by various designations. This is our material disease. Material disease means just like a gold is covered by dirty things. Similarly, we are actually gold. Because part and parcel of Krishna, we are small Krishna. Very small. But we are also the same quality. But it is covered. This is our disease. And this covering are going on in different names. Socialism, communism, and this is so many. I am Indian, I am American, I am Hindu, I am Muslim, I am white, I am black. These are all designations. So it is the business of the Guru to clear up this designation, dirty things. Therefore, Bandi Guru Ishav, Guru, first offering, because he is the agent of Krishna. Krishna says that you give up all this designated dharma. Take to real dharma. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam. That is your real business. But even Krishna does not fail, but Krishna does not force. See, even upon the request of Krishna, we do not give up our designation. This is the difficulty. Krishna said, Sarvadharman parityajya mam ekam saranam bhaja. When nobody practically except the Pandavas and few other devotees, nobody took it seriously. And what to speak of now? They are talking of Bhagavad Gita, scholars of Bhagavad Gita, but without Krishna. That is their business. These demons, they are preaching Bhagavad Gita without Krishna. Nobody preaches about Krishna. Nobody says what Krishna wants. Sarvadharman parityajya, Krishna wants this. But they are misinterpreting in different way and diverting the attention of the people most foolishly, that in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is the center. So this is going on. You know, you are coming all from foreign countries. Bhagavad Gita is popular in your country, at least amongst the scholars and theosophists and theologists, going on for the last 200 years at least. But nobody understood Krishna. That is the difference. Now for the last, say, 5 or 10 years, because we are presenting Krishna as it is, it has become very easy for you to accept it. Unadulterated Krishna. Before this, everything was presented adulterated. Therefore, there was no effect. So, if you push on this movement, unadulterated Krishna, it will go. It will go on. And as soon as you adulterate Krishna, it will not go. It will not be effective. You may be a very good scholar or very good politician or this or that, but he will never understand what is Krishna. Naham prakasa sarvasya yoga maya samam. If you want to pollute Krishna, Krishna will never be revealed to you. Sevanmukhi jivhadau swami vasu. So, by the grace of Krishna, you have taken the shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. It is great fortune for you. So, do not adulterate Krishna. That is my request. Try to understand Krishna. And to understand Krishna, the Krishna himself taught, that was also difficult. Then Krishna, as Krishna Caitanya teaching us how to approach Krishna. That is Caitanya Caritamrta. Caitanya means spiritual, living. And Charitra means character. So Caitanya Caritamrta means that the supreme living force, Krishna. The living force is Krishna. Therefore we contradict the so-called scientific theory that life has come from chemicals, matter. No. We are trying our best. We have engaged our scientist students. They have already, one student has already written one small book, The Scientific Basis of Krishna Consciousness, and we are going to publish another book. I have given instruction to the scientist students. What is the heading of that?
Life comes from life.
Life
comes from life.
Yes, life comes from life. That is the fact. This modern scientific, so-called scientific theory that matter, life comes from matter, that is not fact. Because our original person, Krishna said, Aham sarvasya prabhava. Aham, this aham word is applicable to a person. Person. And person means living force. So Caitanya Caritamrta means that living force. He is a person and he is charitra, his characteristic. This is Chaitanya. And that is Amrita. Amrita means not dead matter. Mrita means dead. And Amrita means not dead, living force. So, his living force, his characteristics are also living force. And they are, because living force, they are Amrita. Na hannate hannamane sarire. We have got experience what is living force and what is dead matter. That we have got experience. And that is further explained by Krishna. That living force means na hannate hannamane sarire, na jayate, na mriyate kadachit. That is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. The living force is not finished even after the annihilation of this body. Very nice statement by Krishna. We can understand living in the life when we are alive, the body is moving, we can understand what is living force. And we can understand further when the body does not move. That defines why the body was moving and why the body is not now moving. If we simply study this difference of position, we can understand what is living force. It is not very difficult. Simply we have to understand now this living force is gone out of this body, therefore the body is no longer moving and it is a dead matter. This is so this Caitanya Caritamrta means we are talking of the living force, not of the dead matter. We should always remember. So the Guru belongs to that living force. And Isha, Isha means controller. Everyone, that living force, Gurun, Isha, Isha Bhaktan, Isha Bhaktan and Isham, so they are all living force. The Lord, His devotee, His representative, everyone They belong to the spiritual platform, living force. Caitanya Sangakam. Caitanya means living. That personification of all living forces is Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. People mistake Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because by misfortune they understand Krishna Chaitanya as a devotee or just like so-called sadhu or yogi, like that. That is mistake. Krishna Chaitanya means the original living force, Krishna. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he understood him. Srila Rupa Goswami, he understood him. Similarly, the followers of Rupa Goswami, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and all the Goswami, they will understand Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and one who understands or follows the path enunciated by Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for them Krishna is very easily obtained. This is called Chaitanya Charitamrta. If you follow Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mission is described by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sharirajhari. Purana Purusha. I just now forget it. Vairagya, yes. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam. Shikhartham Eka Purusha Purana. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sharirajhari Kipam Budijja Stamaham. So Sri Krishna Chaitanya is the same Krishna, Purana Purusha. Adam Purana Purusha. Purana Purusha means Krishna, the original personality of God. Very old. Purana means very old. Vairagya Vidya Shikhartam, because we are suffering here on account of so many designations. So Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to purify us from all these nonsense designations. That is called Vairagya Vidya. Raga means attachment. So, and Viraga, this false attachment we have to give up. That is practically being manifested by practical life. How to love Krishna, how to approach him. That is the characteristic of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and therefore he is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, Krishna Varnam Tisha Krishna. Krishna Varnam, he belonged to the same category, Krishna, or he is describing Krishna always. His only business is to describe Krishna. But his complexion is not Krishna, or Krishna. Or Krishna, there Krishna means white, because Krishna had many colors. One of the colors was Pito, golden avatar. So, Tisha Krishnam Sanga Pangasta Parsadam. This Sanga Pangasta Parsadam is described here, that Gurun, Isham, Isha Bhaktan, Isha Avatarakan, Tat Prakasangscha, Tat Shakti. This is Sanga Panga. So, study this Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now we have got this English edition, very elaborately described, following the footsteps of our Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada. There is no such edition of Chaitanya Charitamrita, very elaborately described, but it can be understood by the advanced student. It can be, and so advanced student, anyone you can become advanced. Advanced means at least one should understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. If you simply understand these two words, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God, then you are advanced. It is not very difficult. Everything, all Vedic literatures are meant for understanding Krishna. Vedaishta sadvai ahameva vedam. So if you simply understand, what is that understanding? That Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. We have written in our Krishna book, Krishna the Supreme Personality. If you become convinced, then your study of Vedas finished. Tepus tapaste sushnurajya. Anyone who understands Krishna, what is that understanding? Krishna says, Matta paradaram nanna kinchijasti dhananja. My dear Arjuna, there is no more superior, authority or person or truth than myself. Matta paradaram nanna kinchijasti dhananja. These few words, if you simply understand, blindly or openly, it doesn't matter. Because if you touch fire, either blindly or openly, it will act. It will act. It is not that because I have blindly accepted Krishna as a supreme person, that he will not act. No, it will act. Even if you have accepted Krishna blindly, it will act. Because the thing is the same. Either you accept in open eyes or blind eyes. So similarly, if you accept this theory, this is not theory, this is fact, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. These few words. Then you are advanced to it, immediately. Take it from me. That simply this conviction that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God, then you are advanced to them in spiritual life. So, all these persons associate with Krishna, Sri Krishna Caitanya, Sri Nityananda, Sri Advaita, and Gadadha, and Srivas, all of them, they are one. One in this sense, they are all interested how to push on Krishna consciousness. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is trying personally, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, Srivas, Gadadha, they are trying to help. And to approach all these five Supreme Persons, you require the help of Guru. Therefore, the Guru is offered first, the respectful prayer, Bandi Guru. Gurun, Bahuvachan, plural number. There are many Gurus, but they are not many, they are one. Guru Tattva. Just like Krishna has many forms, but that does not mean Krishna is different. No, Krishna is one. Similarly, Guru, there may be many Gurus, it doesn't matter. But their philosophy must be one, to teach everyone that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. So there may be thousands of Gurus, but the Guru's business is to teach the disciple that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. That is the test of it. If Guru is teaching something else nonsense, then he is not good. Guru na sasyat. Satkarma nipuna vipra mantra tantra visharad. A Brahmana is very expert in his business, in Vedic culture, Vedic mantras, tantras. That is the taste of the Brahmana, that he is very learned. So Satkarma, Nipuna, Vipra, Mantra, Tantra, Visara. Visara is a very expert. Vaishnava Guru na sasyat. But if he does not know what is Krishna, or if he is not a devotee of Krishna, he cannot become Guru. Syad Vaishnava Sapacha Guru. But one person who is coming from the family of dog eaters, the dog eaters, they are considered to be the lowest of the human beings. So, Sapacha means, Sa means dog, and Pacha means eater or cooker. So Sapacha, even a person is coming from the Sapacha family, and if he is a Vaishnava, if he is a devotee of Krishna, he can become Guru. On the other side, even born in a Brahmin family and very expert in Vedic ritualistic performances, Mantra, Tantra, Visarada, he cannot become Guru if he does not understand Krishna. So, therefore, Guru is very important because he has accepted Krishna, Tattvadarshi, he has seen the truth, so therefore Guru is first offered. This is the taste of Guru. Guru does not become Krishna himself, but he canvasses door to door to induce that you become devotee of Krishna. This is sign of Guru. Bandi Guru Nisham. Ishabhava. Then we shall describe later. Thank you very much.
The following is a class on the Caitanya Charitamrta, Adya Lila, Volume 1, Chapter 1, Text Number 2, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on March 26, 1975, in Mayapur, India.
Obeisances unto Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are like the sun and moon. They have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Gauda to dissipate the darkness of ignorance, and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all.
Bande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodito Gauradai Pushpamanto Chitro Sando Tamonido. Yesterday we discussed the first verse, Gurun Isha Bhaktan Isham Ishavatarakan Tat Prakashansya Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Sam. Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, he has got manifold expansion. The first expansion is Prakash, Swayam Prakash, Balaram, and Nityananda is Balaram. Brajendra Nandana Jai Sachisuta Hoila Sei Balaram Hoila Nitai. We have to understand from the Mahajan, Narottam Thakur, sometimes some foolish people interpret Nityananda as expansion of Radharani. That is not the fact. Nityananda is Balaram. We have to know from Mahajan. We cannot manufacture our own idea. That is blasphemy. Sahajiya. Jatamat tatopat. These things are not accepted by Mahajan. Mahajan means who follows the previous Mahajan. This is the system. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, strictly followed this principle. Krishna also recommended, evam parampara praptam, we have to receive knowledge through the disciplic succession, Mahajangat. You cannot manufacture. This concoction has killed the spiritual life of India. You can think anyway, I can think in my way. That is not at all scientific. You cannot think 2 plus 2 equal to 3 or 5. 2 plus 2 equal to 4. You cannot think otherwise. Ask them to stop. So, Nityananda means Prakash, Swayam Prakash, Balaram. Balaram is, presenting Krishna. Therefore Balaram is Guru. Guru is representative of Balaram, of Nityananda, Guru Nityananda, because he is exhibiting Krishna, he is presenting Krishna, Prakash. Just like when there is sunshine, you can see everything very correctly. That is called Prakash. In the darkness, everything is covered. At night we cannot see. But during daytime, when there is Prakash, illumination, then we can see everything. So Nityananda Prabhu is Balaram. Balaram is Prakash Tattva. He is manifesting Krishna. Balaram Harila Nikai. Bande Sri Krishna Caitanya is the Supreme Absolute Personality of Godhead. And next, Nityananda, Nityananda is exhibiting him. When Nityananda was preaching in Bengal, he first of all delivered the Jagai Mother. That was his first business. He showed how to serve Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Krishna Chaitanya means Krishna himself. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna nahe anna. Radha Krishna combined together is Sri Krishna Chaitanya. And Nityananda is exhibiting Krishna Chaitanya. So how one can exhibit Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? That is by his personal example. Nityananda Prabhu has given us lesson. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sending his devotees to preach, and Nityananda Prabhu was doing that, he used to go with Haridas Thakur to preach on the street, home to home. So, when they saw there was a big crowd on the street, so Nityananda Prabhu inquired from the people why there is so many people assembled. He was informed that there are two gundas rogues, they are creating some trouble. The gundas, their business is to create trouble. That's all. Every one of us we know, especially at the present moment in Bengal. This is due to lack of preaching of Krishna consciousness. Nityananda Prabhu is not given the chance. Nityananda Prabhu is very eager to preach, but he is not given chance. Actually, those who are proud of becoming descendants of Nityananda Prabhu, in Bengal, there is a family, they say that they are descendants from Nityananda Prabhu. So apart from controversy, even accepting that they are descendants from Nityananda Prabhu, their business is also to act like Nityananda Prabhu. So that business, what is that business? That is described by Narottam Das Thakur, Mahajan. Papi tapi jato chilo, hori name uddharilo. Tar sakhi jogai madha. This is the business of Nityananda Prabhu, along with Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Brajendra Nandana Jai Sati Sutta Hoilo Sei. Balaram Hoilo Nita. So here, Krishna Chaitanya and Nityananda, their identification is Lord Krishna and Balaram. Now, in the Krishna incarnation, these two brothers were engaged as cowherds and friends of the gopis, sons of Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. That is the actual life in Vrindavan. Krishna and Balaram, their village, cowherds boy, that is the early age history of Krishna Balaram. And then another business, when they went to Mathura, they killed Kamsa and the wrestlers, and then again when they went to Dwarka, they had to fight with so many demons. But their childhood life, up to 16th year, they were in Vrindavan. Happy life, simply love. That is, paritranaya sadhuna. Sadhus, devotees, they are always anxious to see Krishna, Balaram and their associates. They are always very much aggrieved on account of separation. To give them rejuvenation of life, Krishna, Balaram play their childhood days in Vrindavan. And out of Vrindavan, beginning from Mathura up to Dwarka and other places, the business was vinashaya duskritam, killing. So, they have got two businesses. One for pacifying the devotees, and the other is to kill the demon. Of course, Krishna and Balaram, their absolute truth, there is no difference between killing and loving. They are absolute. Those who are killed, they are also delivered from this material bondage. Now, these same two brothers have again descended as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda. Sahodito. Simultaneously they have appeared. Not that one is appeared, another is not there. No, both are. Sahodito. And they are compared with the sun and moon. The business of sun and moon is to dissipate darkness. The sun rises during daytime and the moon rises at night. But this sun and moon, wonderful sun and moon, Chitro, they have appeared together. But the business is the same, tamonudo. Business is to dissipate dark. Because we are in darkness. Anyone who is in this material world, he is in darkness. Darkness means ignorance, no knowledge. They are mostly animals. Why they are animals? So civilized men, so well dressed, and university education, degrees. Why they are in darkness? Yes, they are in darkness. What is the proof? The proof is that they are not Krishna conscious. This is it. That is their darkness. Ask anybody, item by item, then ask, what do they know about Krishna? Everyone is ignorant, dark. That is the proof. How? This is proof. Now Krishna says, we do not say. Krishna says. How does he say? Namana duskitana mudha prapaddante naranama maya aparita jnana. Aparita jnana means that although they have got university degrees, although they are called civilized, advanced in material civilization, but maya aparita jnana, their degrees, because they do not know Krishna thoroughly and therefore do not surrender to Krishna, which Krishna is canvassing personally. Sarvadharman parittajya mam ekam saranam. He is personally canvassing. Because these rascals and fools, they are in darkness. They do not know what is the goal of life. Krishna is so kind that he is canvassing. Sarvadharman parittajya mam ekam saranam. This is the philosophy. So still they are not doing so. Why? Naradhama. Because the lowest of the mankind. Naradhama. How they have become Naradhama? Duskriti, always committing sinful life. What is sinful life? Illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling. Because they are addicted to these things, they are Duskriti and Naradhama, rest of the mankind. And whatever knowledge they are acquiring by so-called education, that is false knowledge. Maya pritaggyana. This is the position. So, Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Nityananda, they came, descended again, being merciful, same Krishna. Bhajandanandana Jai, Sachishita Hoilu say, same Krishna. In a different way, they canvass the same principle. You can sit down. Yes, you are sleeping. Don't sleep. So, this is the darkness. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared to drive away this darkness. Same Krishna, the same principle. There is no difference between Krishna's preaching and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's preaching. There is no difference. The difference is that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is demanding, you rascal, you surrender unto me. You are suffering so much, you are rascal. I am your father. I want to see you happy. Therefore I have come. Surrender unto me. I shall give you all protection. Aham tva sarva papi bhamma Krishna. You are suffering on account of your duskriti, all sinful activities. Whatever you are doing, all sinful activities. Except Krishna consciousness activities, whatever you do, that is sinful activity. But they have been summarized into 4 principles. The whole sinful activities of the world, they have been summarized in 4 lines. No illicit sex, no meat eating, no gambling, no interest. This is the summary. But otherwise, of these activities there are many, many branches. But if you cut the root of sinful activities, this illicit sex and gambling and meat eating, then generally, automatically other sinful activities will go. Therefore, we who are propagating Krishna consciousness movement, we are just requesting that you give up this sinful. Otherwise you will be implicated again. What is an implication? The implication is that your sinful life will get you next body which is also sinful. And again you suffer. Suffering there is, as soon as you get material body, there is suffering. It may be a king's body or it may be a cobbler's body. It doesn't matter. The suffering is there. But because these people are maya apurita jnana, they are accepting suffering as pleasure. This is called maya. He is suffering, but he is thinking it is good pleasure. Just like the pig is eating stool and is thinking he is enjoying life. This is called ignorance. He does not know that he is suffering. Maya has given his body to suffer, but even in the pig's body, he is thinking that is enjoying life. This is called Maya. Mohito nabhijanati mameva paramabhayam. This is called illusion. Illusion. Everyone in this material world, they are suffering in different grades. Just like in the prison house, there are different grades of prisoner. First class, second class, third class. But if the first class prisoner thinks they are enjoying life, that is ignorance. He should know that he is in the prison house. In the prison house, what is there in enjoyment? It is all suffering. Maybe first class suffering. But it is suffering. So they are all in the darkness. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu appeared to dissipate. Tamonudam, to dissipate this dark of the whole human society. That is their kindness. They are. So Nityananda Prabhu being Prakash, he is manifesting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is canvassing the same thing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is canvassing to accept Krishna consciousness. And to accept Krishna consciousness through the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and their other assistants is easier. Therefore, we see practically, we have taught our disciples to chant first of all the Panchatattva. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Thank you. So, through the mercy of this Panchatattva, easily you can approach Krishna. Easy. Otherwise, how it is possible? These Europeans, Americans, they did not know what is Krishna. 4 or 5 years ago, they are unknown. How they have become so devotee of Krishna that 10,000 miles crossing over the sea, they have come here at Maya. Unless they have got developed love for this. Their coming is not so easy from neighboring villages, but it costs. They have spent lakhs of dollars. $1 equal to 8 rupees. And they have come here. Why? Through the mercy of Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
Next is a class on the Caitanya Caritamrta, Ajya Leela, Volume 1, Chapter 1, Text number 3, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on March 27th, 1975, in Mayapur, India.
What the Upanishads describe as the impersonal Brahman is but the effulgence of his body, and the Lord, known as the Supersoul, is but his localized plenary portion. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself, full with 6 opulences. He is the Absolute Truth, and no other truth is greater than or equal to him.
Jadadvaitang Brahma Upanishadi Tadapashatanuha Ja Atmanta Jami Purusha Iti So Asya Angsa Vibhava Sarai Sajjai Purna Jo Bhagavan Iha Sasayamayang Na Chaitanyat Krishna Jagati Paratattang Paramyaha. Now the author Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is establishing with great stress that na Chaitanyat Krishna Jagati Paratattam Paramya. There is no greater truth than Krishna Chaitanya. We are after truth. So, here the author of Chaitanya Caritamrta, he is asserting that here is the supreme truth, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not Chaitanya, Krishna. Krishna, because Krishna has appeared as Krishna Chaitanya. We have explained this truth yesterday. But according to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's declaration, Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam Shikkhartham Eka Purusha Purana. Purusha Purana. Purusha Purana is Krishna. Purusha is Purusha and Purana, Adyam, the original person. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhaja. In many Vedic literature, Krishna is described as the Purana Purusha, the oldest. Purana Purusha Navajauvanancha. Although he is the oldest of all, still he is always like fresh youth. Navajauvanancha. So, how it is possible that they are trying to understand God. Sometimes they paint the picture of God as very old man, because he is the original person. By this time he must have become very old. This is imagination. This is not actually the form of the Lord. The form of the Lord is there in the Brahma Samhita and other Vedic literature. Even Shankaracharya, who is impersonalist, he has accepted Lord Krishna as the Supreme Narayana. In his comment on Bhagavad Gita, he says, Narayana parah abhaktyat. Narayan is beyond this material creation. And while describing Narayan, he has affirmed, Sabhagavan Sang Krishna. That Narayan is Krishna. And he has clearly mentioned, now he has appeared as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. To confirm, just like identification is confirmed when the father's name is there. So Krishna is Paratattva, accepted by all acharyas. We are not talking of the fools and rascals who are theorizing without any knowledge. We are concerned with the authorities. The authorities, especially in India, the whole Vedic system is being followed by the people under the authorities of the Acharya. Acharyavan Purusha Veda. One who is fully following the path of the Acharyas, he knows. Acharyavan Purusha Veda. We cannot accept anyone as authority if he does not follow the parampara, disciplic succession of Acharya. That is the Vedic system. Evam parampara praptam imang rajarsayo vidu. So, Krishna is Paratattva. Na Caitanyat Krishnat Jagati Paratattvam Paramya. He is very emphatically asserting that there is no more greater truth than Krishna and Krishna Chaitanya. So, according to the Vedic system, if you say something very emphatically, you must prove by Vedic evidences. Otherwise you can go on talking, nobody will hear you. Sometimes people ask us about Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is the Vedic evidences? So that Vedic evidences will be given later chapters of Chaitanya Caritamrta. He is not falsely asserting. Kaviraj Goswami is very, very advanced devotee and scholar. He is not ordinary human being. He was empowered by Madan Mohan. So nobody should try to write any Vedic literature. Vedic literature means the Shruti, Smriti, Purana, they are Vedic literature. Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami has also confirmed Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatri ki vidhi bina oikanti ki hare bhakti utpataye bokal. Utpat, simply disturbance. Jatamat tatapat. I can manufacture my own way. This rascaldom has been condemned by Srila Rupa Goswami. He says that Hare Bhakti, you'll find many so-called bhaktas crying, falling down on the ground, but immediately after he is smoking bidi. So why this is going on? Because they do not follow the injunction of Srila Rupa Goswami. Chanting, dancing very loudly, and after the performance is finished, I have seen it. Can you give me a bidi? My throat is now dried up. So this is utpat. Srila Rupa Goswami has described this kind of so-called devotional attitude is simply disturbances. They imitate. Imitate. Therefore Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has condemned. There are so many upasampradaya going on in the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotee. Who are they? Aul, Baul, Kattavaja, Nera, Darbesh, Sai, Sahajiya, Sakibeki, Smarta, Jadgonsai, then Otibari, Churadhari, Gauranga Nagari. Tuta kahe ei taror sanga nahi kori. Tuta Babaji, he says, I do not associate with these classes of men. So, after disappearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so many apasampradaya sprang up. So we should be very much careful. The Sampradaya means who are carefully following the Vedic principle. Therefore, Sri Kaviraj Goswami, although asserting the truth, he is prepared to give Vedic evidences. Now he has begun. The Vedas, they begins with the Upanishad. Vedanta Sutra, Upanishad, they are all Vedic literature. Puranas, Ramayana, Mahabharata, they are all Vedic literatures. 4 Vedas, Sam, Yajur, Katharva, then the Upanishad, then the Vedanta Sutra, then Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam and Vedanta Sutra is the same thing. It is explanation Therefore, at the end of each chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated by Vyasdev, Brahma Sutrasya Bhashya. Srimad Bhagavatam means comment on the Brahma Sutra. Brahma Sutra is the gist code of all Vedic literature. And then it is explained. Athato Brahma Jigyasa, that is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Jivasya Tattva Jigyasa. Jivasya, for living being, the only business is to inquire about the absolute truth. That is the only business. People are in trouble because they have given up their real business. Human life is meant for this business, Brahma Jigyasa, to inquire about the absolute truth. We have been given so many facilities by nature. There are so many living entities. They are standing on the ground for many years, the trees, the plants, and the aquatics for many, many years they are in the water, the flies and insects for many, many years they are in that condition, and gradually by evolution we come to this form of human life, especially the Aryans, the advanced, civilized human being. He has got all the facilities. The uncivilized man live in the jungle and they cannot utilize the resources. Ask them to stop. So, therefore Narottam Das Thakur, in very simple Bengali song, he says, Hari Hari Bifale Janama Goai. This is our life. We have got this human form of life, but we are simply spoiling it. This is the whole situation. In this movement we are traveling all over the world, and according to our views, how they are spoiling their very valuable human life in false identification that I am this body. Everyone, in big, big names, I am American, I am Indian, I am German, I am... and they are spoiling their life under this bodily concept of life. According to Shastra, anyone who is identifying himself, this body, that is the first instruction of the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna brought Arjuna to fight with the Kurus, and he identified himself as this body, and therefore he thought, killing of my cousin brothers, it will not be good, because I have got bodily delusion. So, to dissipate this conception of life, that is the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna chastised him, Arjuna, asacyananisuchastang pragyabadangscha bhasas. We are talking very, very big talks and plans, but actually we are nothing better than cats and dogs. This is our position, because we are identifying with this body. My country, my community, my society, my family, my ahangamameti, jivasya, moho ayam, ahangamameti. They do not know. This is the ignorance, basic ignorance. I and mine. I am this body, and anything in relationship with the body is mine. This is ignorance. But this ignorance is going on all over the world. That's a fact. This ignorance. Therefore, in the beginning, the author said, Vande Sri Krishna Caitanya Nityananda Sahodhito Gauradaye Pushpavanto Chitrau Sandau Tamonudau. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, both of them have come to deliver these fallen souls of this material world who are in the darkness of concept. So they are fighting all over the world this darkness. Just now somebody told me that the king of the Arabia is killed. Is killed now by his nephew or somebody else. So this is going on. Even in family affairs, it is going on. Why? This darkness. Aham mameti, janasya moho ayam, aham mameti. The Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, along with his associates, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, Gadadhar Prabhu, and Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, they are trying to dissipate the darkness of this false identification. Krishna simply instructed Arjuna about his darkness of identity, and he punished him. Asachananusutastang pragyavadaksha bhasas. You are talking very big words, but you are lamenting on a subject matter on which no learned person lament. Gatasun agatasun chananu suchanti pandita. That means you are fool number one. Pandita. No pandit makes like that. Now try to understand what is the position. Then he said, Dehinasmin jatha dehi kaumara jauvanam jara tatha dehantara prapti dhirastattanami. First of all, try to understand what you are. That is the beginning of Bhagavad. It is no politics. It is knowledge, pure knowledge. Bhagavad Gita is pure knowledge. The politicians take advantage of it, the sociologists, the so-called Swamis, yogis, they take advantage of it and try to prove their all nonsensical theories. But it is not at all Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita as it is pure knowledge. The beginning with the first knowledge, one has to understand that he is not this body. Because this is the basic principle of all ignorance. I am this body. I am American, I am Indian, I am Brahman, I am this, I am that. This is the basic principle. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says the same thing in a different way. He says, I am not a Brahmin, I am not a Kshatriya, I am not a Vaishya, I am not a Shudra, I am not a Brahmachari, I am not a Grihastha, I am not a Vanaprastha, I am not a Sannyasi. These are negation. Then what is the positive? He says, Gopi Bhattu Padakamalu, Dasa Dasanu Dasa. I am the servant of the servant of the servant of the Gopi Bhattu, Krishna, who maintains the gopis. This is our identification. But we have forgotten our identification. Krishna bhuliya ji bhi bhogavancha kare, pasete mayatare japoti ya dhare. We have forgotten our real relationship with Krishna, and we are trying to be happy by material adjustment. This is modern civilization. One is thinking, if I get such nice house, nice motor car, nice business, nice bank balance, nice wife, nice children, this is material civilization. But they do not know, despite all these nice things, we'll never be happy. Now, you Europeans and Americans, you have got a good qualification. I described many times that you are no more very much interested with all these nice things. So-called nice things. Real nice thing is spiritual understanding. That nice thing begins, aham brahmasmi, I am not this body. That is the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is instructing Arjuna that you are not this body. You are spirit soul. Try to understand. So, we should learn from Krishna. We should learn from Caitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself. Therefore the author says that you accept this authority. Na Chaitanyat Krishnat Paratattam Paramiho. If you want knowledge, then you have missed already, because when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared 500 years ago, people already became fools and rascals. They did not care for the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Therefore he again came as devotee of Krishna to teach us how to serve Krishna, how to love Krishna. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's cult. The same thing. When Krishna appeared, he said, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam bhaja. Give up everything, so-called rascaldom, just surrender to me. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said the same thing as a devotee, Jare dakho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. He did not say anything new. That is the authenticity. I have manufactured some way. These are all rascaldom. The same thing. You can, just like in your country it is said, old wine in a new bottle. Similarly, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching the same thing. Krishna says, Matta parataram nanyat kinchijasti dhananjaya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says the same thing. Jare dakho tare kaho Krishna pari. And we are saying the same thing. Na Krishna Chaitanya paratattam. There is no more superior truth than Krishna Chaitanya. Why? Because he is talking the same truth as Krishna said. This is called parampara system. What Krishna said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said the same thing, and we are talking the same thing. So there is no difficulty to understand the absolute truth. It may be presented in a different way, not different way, it is directly. Krishna says directly that you surrender to me. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that you praise this cult. Jare dakho tare kaho Krishna. The same thing. We are not going to teach anything which is not spoken by Krishna and which is not supported by Krishna Chaitanya. This is our principle. This is Krishna consciousness movement. Krishna preached Krishna himself. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached the same principle. Krishnastu Bhagavan Sayam. And we are preaching the same thing. We do not preach anything else. We do not manufacture anything. That is not our business. So, by the grace of Krishna, by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you all European boys and girls joined this movement under my, soliciting. I went to your country with this word only. I did not show you any magic, neither I have any knowledge how to play magic. That is not possible. I simply repeat the same thing, that here is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here is Krishna Chaitanya Dev, the devotional form of Krishna. You accept them, your life will be successful. Thank you very much.
The following is a class on the Caitanya Charitamrta, Adya Lila, Volume 1, Chapter 1, Text number 4, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on March 28, 1975, in Mayapur, India.
May that Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Shachi Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost chambers of your heart. Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, he has appeared in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation ever offered before, the most sublime and radiant spiritual knowledge of the mellow taste of his service.
Anarpita charing chirata karunayavati nakalo samatpayatam unnata ujjalarasang sabhakti sriyam hari purata sundaradduti kadamma sandipitaha sada hridaya kandare suratu ba sachinandana. This is the blessings of Srila Rupa Goswami upon everyone. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Sanga Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantik. We should pray to Rupa Goswami for his blessings so that we can understand what is the actual position of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most merciful incarnation to bestow upon us Krishna Prema. Srila Rupa Goswami understood it. Srila Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya understood it, and we should take their viewpoint of view, what they have studied about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Srila Rupa Goswami says, in the beginning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was appreciated by Srila Rupa Goswami as Mahavadana Avatar. There are many incarnations of Krishna. Keshavadhrita Meena Sharira Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Keshavadhrita Nrisingha Rupa Jaya Jagadisha. Many incarnations, but this incarnation, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is Anarpita Charing Chira. The mercy of this incarnation is unlimited. It was never given before. That is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. He distributed the most confidential part of love of Godhead. Although we are living in this fallen age, Kali Yuga, but he is giving the topmost platform of loving Krishna. Anarpita charing chira. Therefore he is supposed to be the most munificent incarnation. Namo Mahavadhanaya. Krishna Prema Pradaya. He is giving directly Krishna Prema. It is very difficult to understand Krishna and what to speak of his loving affairs. It is very difficult. Manusyanam sahasreshu kaschid jadati siddhaya jadatam api siddhyanam kaschid vetti mam tattva. Krishna personally says that it is very difficult to understand him. Actually it is so. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is so unlimited that he is helping not only to understand Krishna, but also he is giving directly love of Krishna. And this supermost platform of love, as it was experienced by the gopis. The gopis dealing with Krishna is considered to be the topmost. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he recommended Ramma Kachi Dupasana Brajabadhu Varga Bhija Kalpita. Brajabadhu, the gopis, the dancers of Vrindavan, they worship Krishna in the topmost loving affairs. They did not know anything but Krishna. For Krishna they could sacrifice anything. Their honor, their prestige, everything. Their husband, their sons, family, that is the gopis' standard. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation is accepted by Srila Rupa Goswami in many verses. One of the verses is here, Anarpita charing chira, karunayavati nakalo. So we should take shelter of Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the blessing of Rupa Goswami. He says, Hari Purata Sundara Druti Kadamma Sandipita Sada Hridaya Kandare Spuratuva Sachinanana. He is giving his blessing that this form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, may always remain within you, on the core of your heart. If we simply keep Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu within our heart, then it will be very easy to understand what is Krishna. Because if you understand Krishna, then your life is successful. Janma karma chadibbam me jujanati tattva. That is only. Our Krishna consciousness movement means just try to understand Krishna. Then your life is successful. Krishna says, anyone who understands me, why I come here, what is my activity, takta dehang punarjana, he becomes liberated. After giving up this body, he does not accept any material body. In his own spiritual body, he goes back to home, back to God. This is our Krishna consciousness. So, if you don't go through Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it will be very difficult to understand Krishna. That is practical. Just like you young boys and girls from Western countries, you have taken up Krishna so seriously. Why? Because we are trying to understand Krishna through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, we should follow this principle. There will be no difficulty to understand Krishna. And as soon as you understand Krishna, your life is successful. Of course, we cannot understand Krishna fully. As far as possible, at least if we understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God, this much is sufficient. This much is sufficient. Krishna Su Bhagavan Sayam. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Matta Parataram Nanyat Kinchijasti Dhananjaya. Aham Sarvasya Prabhava. Aham Adirihi Devanam. These things are there, already stated. But the so-called scholars and politicians, they misinterpret in a different way and mislead the people. That is going on. Therefore, in spite of Bhagavad Gita being read all over the world for the last 200 years, not a single person became a devotee of Krishna. This is the defect. So, let us try to understand Krishna through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as we have repeatedly said, that through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu you understand Krishna and spread this cult all over the world. People are suffering for want of knowledge of Krishna. So this movement especially meant to establish the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that you become, every one of you become a guru. How to become guru? Jare dakho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. Simply, that qualification is sufficient. Don't adulterate the Krishna upadesh. Simply present what Krishna says as it is. Then every one of you will become a guru. Don't adulterate. I think, in my opinion, these nonsense things should be given up. We should always be aware that we are insignificant creature, our opinion and thinking has no value. This should be the first principle. Why should you give opinion on the words of Krishna? Are you more authoritative person than Krishna? This is foolishness. To try to become more than Krishna. There are so many rascals. They present that now we have advanced, we know more than Krishna. So be saved from these rascals. Then you will understand Krishna, and through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu you will understand what is the position of Krishna, what is your relationship with Krishna, what is the ultimate goal of life. These things will be clearly exhibited. And Sri Caitanya Caritamrta is written for this purpose, so that a person who is serious about Krishna consciousness may understand Krishna through the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is one. You cannot jump over Krishna consciousness without going through the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And to go through Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu means to go through the 6 Goswamis. This is parampara system. Therefore Narottam Das Thakur says, Ei chhay Gosai jar tarmi das, tasavar padorenu mora panchagras. This is parampara system. You cannot jump over. You must go through the parampara system. You have to approach through your spiritual master to the Goswamis, and through the Goswamis you will have to approach Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and through Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu you have to approach Krishna. This is the way. Therefore Narottam Das Thakur says, Ei chhay Gosai jar taramui das. We are servant of servant. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction. Gopi bhattu padakamalayo daso daso dasanu daso. The more you become servant of the servant, the more you are perfect. And if you all of a sudden want to become master, then you go to hell. Don't do that. This is the teaching of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you go through the servant, then you are advanced. And if you think that you have now become master, then you are going to hell. This is the process. Dasa dasanu das. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. So servant, 100 times servant now, that means he is advanced. He is advanced. And one who is becoming directly master, then he is in hell. Sanatpita charing chira. So we should always remember the instruction of Srila Rupa Goswami. Therefore, we pray, Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale. Our mission is to establish the desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is our business. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale. Srila Rupa Goswami did it. He has given up so many books, especially Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which I have translated into English as Nectar of Devotion, to understand the science of devotional service. This is the greatest contribution of Srila Rupa Goswami, how to become a devotee. How to become a devotee. It is not sentiment, it is science. This Krishna consciousness movement is a great science.
Next is a class on the Caitanya Caritamrta, Adya Leela, Volume 1, Chapter 1, Text number 5, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on March 29th, 1975, in Mayapur, India.
Pranaya Brikiti Alladini Shakti Rasma Ekatmana Vapi Bhuvi Pura Deho Bhedam Gatoto Chaitannathyam Prakatamaduna Tadvayam Chaikamaptam Radha Bhavaduti Shubolitam Nomi Krishna Sarupam. So, another feature of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is described here by the author, Kaviraj Goswami. the beginning, he has been described as the ultimate absolute truth, Saraisajya Purna, the Bhagavan. The absolute truth realized in three phases. The ultimate phase is Bhagavan, Saraisajya Purna. Bhagavan means full of six opulences. Not as nowadays there are so many Bhagavans. They have no Aisajya. But Bhagavan means Saraisajya Purna, full opulences, six kinds of opulences. Then that Bhagavan, Supreme Personality of Godhead, has descended as incarnation, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, just to bestow the topmost understanding of loving affairs with Krishna. Samarpayatum unnata ujjala rasam sabhaktisyam. In the bhakti platform, there are different stages. Spiritually, there is no difference. One in Dasaras and one in Madhurjaras. There is no difference. But a devotee likes to serve the Supreme Lord according to his inclination. Some wants to love him in Shantaras, some wants to love him in Dasaras, someone in friendly, then paternal love, then conjugal love. So, there is no difference between these different phases of loving affair, but great devotees and learned scholars, they have given their decision that the loving affairs of Krishna in the conjugal platform, between husband and wife, or above that, between lover and beloved, that is very much prominent in the Western countries. Friend, boyfriend, girlfriend. In the spiritual world, that platform of remaining as friend without marriage, that is considered as the highest. And whatever we see here, a perverted reflection of that loving affairs. Just like perverted reflection, it is described in the Bhagavad Gita, Urdhva Moolam Adho Shakha Asattam Prahum Abhayam. This material world has been described as having its root up, Urdhva Moolam Adho Shakha, and the branches down. We have several times explained this, Urdhva Moolam Adho Shakha. In the material world, this is a shadow. Unless it is shadow, how the moolam or the root can be upwards? We have got experience, a tree on the bank of a river. The tree is reflected, adhosha, and the root upwards. Shadow. So this is shadow. real thing is in the spiritual world. Therefore it is called Adho Shakha. Shakha in the spiritual world, the topmost part is this conjugal love. And here, the same thing when pervertedly reflected, it is the lowest abomination. We should know this. That in the spiritual world, to remain as girlfriend and boyfriend, that is the topmost pleasure. And in the material world, the same thing is the most abominable. Therefore it is Adho Shakha. We cannot imitate the loving affairs of Krishna and Radharani unless we understand the real fact. The real fact is described here. The Radha Krishna Pranaya Brigiti Alladini Shakti. Shakti means potency. So, from Vedas we understand that the Lord, the Supreme Person, has got multi-energies. Parasa Shakti vividhaiva shriyate savhaviki jnana balakriyas natasya karyam karanancha vidyate natasya sama adhikasya dishyate. So, these energies, Krishna, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has got multi-energy. When Arjuna requested Krishna, will you kindly explain some of the energies as you display? Then the Bhagavad Gita, there is a list of his different energies, and at last it is concluded, Athava bahunaitina kingatina tavarjuna Vishtyabhya aham idam krishnam ekamshina sthitu jagat. Idam krishnam jagat. All the material manifestation. Material manifestation means these material universes. There are many. This universe, what we see, one only, the sky, the covering. But there are many millions of universes. Jasya prabha prabhavatu jagadanna koti. Koti means millions. Jagadanna. Jagadanna means universe. So Krishna says that all these universes in the material world is display of my 1/4 energy. Just imagine what is Krishna's energy. Ekamshena sthito jagat. And we are trying to imitate Krishna. So many rascals, they declare that Bhagavan. They do not know what is Bhagavan. Bhagavan, these universes are coming, innumerable universes coming from the breathing of Mahavishnu. Jasyaika nishasita kala mathavalamba jivanti loma vilaja jagadannanatha Vishnu mahanasa yajasya kala vishesho govindamadipurutam tamam. They have no idea what is Bhagavan. This is one of the description of Mahavishnu, that from his breathing, innumerable universes are coming out. When he is exhaling, the universes are coming out, and when he is inhaling, everything is going within him. This is Bhagavan. So anyway, this is partial exhibition of the energy of the Lord. And this is 1/4 energy. This material world is manifestation of his 1/4 energy. The 3/4 energies are in the spiritual world. So, in that spiritual world, Krishna exhibits his spiritual energy. That is only spiritual energy. This material world is made of material energy, and we are marginal energy. So, when Krishna wants to enjoy, the enjoy means this loving affairs between man and woman. That is a fact. That is not an artificial thing. Srila Vishwanath Dakkavati Thakur has explained Vedanta Sutra, Janmadasya Jata. He has said, Adi Rasasya Janma Jatra. Adi Ras. There are 12 kinds of rasas, mellow. Of all of them, the Adi Ras. Adi Ras means loving affair between man and woman. This is called Adi Ras. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains, Janmadasya means the Adi Ras, the loving affairs between man and woman. That is from the Supreme Person. That's a fact. Unless the loving propensity is there in the Supreme, how it can be reflected? Because this is perverted reflection only. So there must be the origin. So the Mayavadi philosophers, they cannot understand this because they have got bitter experience of this material world. They try to make zero or without any varieties the ultimate goal. Sunnavad, Nirvishesha Sunnavad. The Nirvishesvad, with the impersonalism and voidism, they are of the same nature. The Buddhist philosopher, they say ultimately everything is zero. And the Mayavadi philosopher says, not zero, but impersonal. But actually that is not fair. There is everything, variety and personal, but because the philosophers with poor fund of knowledge, they cannot understand, they make it zero or variety less, nirvishesva. That to clear the idea, our Kaviraj Goswami says that this Radha Krishna prem, loving affairs between Radha Krishna, it is a fact. It is not imagination. It is a fact. But this fact is different from the fact we have got experience in this world. That is to be understood. Don't take, just like Sahajiyas, they take the Radha Krishna prem, just like ordinary lusty affairs in this material world. But that is not the fact. In the Srimad Bhagavatam there is a verse, that the loving affairs of gopis and Krishna, Vishnu, it is not ordinary thing. If one can hear from the proper source, and if he understands the real fact of Ras Leela, then the result will be that his heart, which is full with lusty desire, that will vanish. There will be no more lusty desires. Pranaya Vrikiti, this Pranaya Vrikiti, Allah Adini. So if anyone understands this Pranaya Vrikiti, the loving affairs, transformation of different feelings, if one can understand, then his material lusty desires will vanish. This is the result. Hridroga kamam apasya apuhinati dhira. He becomes dhira. Here in this material world, everyone is adhira, agitated by lusty desire. But in the spiritual world, they are dhira. They are not agitated by lusty desires. This is spiritual world. So long we are agitated by the lusty desires, we must know that we are in the material world. That is the test. Just like Jamunacharya says, Jadavadhi mama chitta Krishna padara vindayo nava dhamarantu masid tadavadhi batanari sangame smarjamane bhavati mukha vikara sushtu nishti banancha. So long I have been engaged in the service of Krishna, and I am rendering more and more service and getting spiritual pleasure. Since then, as soon as I think of sex life, I immediately spite upon it and I hate to think of it. This is the result. People should know what is Radha Krishna Prakriti. If one becomes attached to Radha Krishna Pranayamrikiti, then the test is that his lusty desires will vanish. This is the test. Therefore, Kaviraj Goswami explains that this is not ordinary thing. This is the transformation of the Alladini Shakti. Sambit Sandhini Alladini. The Supreme Lord has got three potencies or energies primarily. So this Radha Krishna Pranayamrikiti is transformation of the pleasure potency. Krishna is described in the Bhagavad Gita, Parabrahma. Parabrahma, Paramdhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhava. That is the explanation given by Arjuna. This is called Parampara system. If we follow Arjuna's decision should be taken. Arjuna's decision is Krishna is Parabrahma. So the Mayavadi philosophers, they are after Brahma Sukh, Brahma Sukhanubhutya. Brahma Sukhanubhutya. The source of Brahma Sukh is Krishna, but they cannot reach up to that point. Ittang brahma sukhanubhutya dasangatanang paradaivatena maya sitanang naradaivatena sadhang vijarhu kritapunna punja. Sri Sukadeva Goswami says, here is the Parabrahma. When he is describing Krishna's pastimes with the cowherd boy, so Sukadeva Goswami says, these cowherd boys are playing with the Supreme Person who is the source of Brahma Sukha. Ittang Brahma Sukhanuvritya. And for the devotees, there are two kinds of transcendentalists. One Brahmavadi and other Vaishnava. Vaishnava takes this philosophy that we are servant. Jiver Swarupai Nitya Krishna Das. And the Mayavadi philosophers, they imperfectly think that they have become one with the Supreme. They have become Narayana. That's a misleading philosophy. We should not accept that. This Krishna being Parabrahma, so what will be the platform of his loving affairs? This is to be considered. For Brahmashu, we are in this material world, we see many saintly persons, they give up everything. Sannyas. Sannyas means giving up everything for the Supreme. So, for simply to relish a little bit of Brahma show, these saintly person, great saintly person, they are giving up everything. Tattva sadharmam. Sadharma means the regulated division of a society, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So they give up everything. Brahma Sukhanubhutta, to understand Tapo Dibbam, Putraka Ajena Suddheta Satta, for purifying the existence, because we are after happiness, every one of us. But we are seeking happiness in the perverted reflection. That is not possible. Therefore, one has to give up this perverted happiness and come to the real path. So, our point is that because Krishna is Parabrahma, so how he can take pleasure in this material world? This is the argument. So those who are wrongly thinking, foolishly thinking, that Krishna enjoys with the gopis like we enjoy in the company of many girls, they are great fools. They have no knowledge. They are misled because it appears, perverted reflection, it appears like that. But the reflection is different from the reality. So, we should not take in that way. We should follow the footsteps of Caitanya Caritamrta, that we should understand that this pranaya-vikiti, this transformation of loving affairs between Radha and Krishna, this is not like this, the ordinary boy and girl. It is Alladini Shakti. If we take that, then we are misled. How he can take? Because for understanding Brahma Sukh, we are giving up everything. I mean, from the Mayavadi point of view. And again, Krishna being Parabrahma, how he can indulge in material happiness? This is argument. Brahma Sukh, to understand Brahma Sukh, to release Brahma Sukh, if one is giving up everything, material, there are three kinds of Sukha. Material Sukh, Brahma Sukh, and spiritual Sukh. Brahma Sukh is on the margin. Sukh means happiness. Therefore, we, from a logical point of view, we should conclude it that Krishna being Parabrahma, how he can indulge in material happiness. This is a very important point. If for understanding little bit of Brahma Sukh, we are giving up all material enjoyment, how Krishna can enjoy materially? He is Parabrahma. Therefore, those sahajiyas, those who are taking that Krishna is enjoying with ordinary girls, they are very, very much misled. That is not fair. Therefore, it is said, Alladini Shakti. This is different. This is in the spiritual world the topmost mellow, Alladini Shakti. So, Eka Brahma Ditya Nasti. Brahma, Parabrahma is one. Krishna is one. There is no competition with Krishna. Natasya sama adhikascha drishyate. Nobody can be equal with him, nobody can be greater than him. Natasya sama means equal, and adhika means greater. That is Parabrahma. That is Krishna. But Krishna says also, Matta parataram nanyat. There is no more superior entity than me. So we have to very carefully study Krishna. The Krishna consciousness movement means to understand Krishna very scientifically. It is not sentiment. One must be very philosophically advanced with scientific knowledge. Jnanam Vijnanam. This is Vijnan. It is not sentiment. Jnanam Vijnanam. Saritam. Jnanam me paramam guhyam jad vijnana samanitam. Without Vijnan, science, without philosophy, to understand Krishna is not possible. You can say that do you think that all the devotees, they are all scientists and philosophers? Yes. The answer is yes. Now they have no degree of science or philosophy. And still, because if you learn science and philosophy, you will have to approach some person who knows the science, knows the philosophy. But the greatest scientist, the greatest philosopher is Krishna. He is within your heart. Ishara sarvabhutanam riteshe arjuna tishtati. And he says, Tesam satatujuktanang bhajatang priti purvakam buddhi yogam dadami aham. Anyone who is sincere devotee and always engaged in Krishna's service, Krishna says, I give him education, intelligence. I make him scientist, philosopher. That is the way. Buddhi yogam dadami. What kind of science? One kind of philosophy. Jena mam upajanti te. That science, that spiritual science, that spiritual philosophy, I teach him personally. Why this is so? Not to all. You may say that if Ishvara, the Supreme Lord, is sitting in everyone's heart, why he is specially inclined? Tesam satadujuktanam, one who is engaged 24 hours in his service. Why not others? So that is special mercy for the devotee. Special mercy. Tesamevanukampartham aham ajnana janutama nasayami atmabhavastha. This is the problem. You cannot understand God or Krishna without being a faithful servant. This is the secret. And if we become faithful servant under the guidance of proper spiritual master, then we can understand what is Krishna, what is Parabrahma, and what is loving affairs with Radharani, what is Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. These things are revealed. It is not acquired by so-called mundane knowledge. That is not possible. Sameva spuratva. Just like in the darkness, if you want the sunshine, it is not possible. But in the morning, the sun comes out automatically and the darkness is dissipated. Sameva. So, we should always remain faithful servant of Krishna, and Krishna is within everyone's heart, and he will be pleased by your service, and then he will reveal himself what he is. Otherwise it is not possible. Thank you very much. Vandeham Sri Guru.
The following is a class on the Caitanya Charitamrta, Adi Lila, first chapter, text number 6, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on the 30th of March, 1975, in Mayapur, India.
Sri Rupam Chakrajatam.
Desiring to understand the glory of Radharani's love, the wonderful qualities in him that she alone relishes through her love, and the happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love, the Supreme Lord Hari, richly endowed with her emotions, appeared from the womb of Srimati Shachi Devi, as the moon appears from the ocean.
Sri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidrisha Va Anaiva Asyadda Jinadbhuta Madhurima Kidrisha Va Madhiya Sokhancha Asya Mad Anubhavata Kidrisham Beti Lobhat Tad Bhavadha Samajani Sotigat Basindu Harindu. So, the love affairs between Krishna and Radha, that we have already understood that Radha Krishna combined together is Sri Caitanya Maha. Taddayam chekamastam. Taddayam, dayam means two, Radha and Krishna. They are one. There is no difference. Energy and the energetic. So, Radharani is the energy, pleasure energy of Krishna. So, when Krishna, we have explained this, when Krishna wants pleasure, he cannot derive it from anything material. We should not misunderstand that Krishna is ordinary human being and he is enjoying like us. Completely different. Radharani is the manifestation of Krishna's pleasure potency. Parasa Shakti Vividhaivasya. So when Krishna, Parabrahma, Krishna is described by Arjuna, Parabrahma. So when the Parabrahma wants to enjoy, the Mayavadi philosophers, they cannot conceive that Parabrahma also enjoys. Therefore, they think of Parabrahma as impersonal. But that is not the fact. Brahma, Paramatma, then Bhagavan. Therefore, Bhagavan is Parabrahma. That is accepted by Arjuna. Parabrahma, Paramdhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. Brahma is spiritual, undoubtedly, but more than Brahma is Paramatma. And more than Paramatma is Parabrahma Krishna. Jadadvaita Brahma Upanishadi. If you study the Upanishad, then you can realize Brahma. And if you practice yoga, then you can realize Paramatma. And if you practice Bhakti Yoga, then you can realize the Supreme Personality of God. This is the process. The more you advance, just like the sunshine and the sun glow, or the sun god, they are of the same quality, heat and light. But the sunshine is not the sun glow. Neither the sun glow is the sun god. Therefore, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy, Achinta Bheda Bhed, inconceivable, one and different simultaneous. So, when you go to the platform of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Manusyanam sahasreshu kaschid jatati siddhaya jatatam api siddhyanam kaschid vettimam tattat. You have to understand Krishna tattat in truth, not superficially. Then you will misunderstand. Without understanding Krishna, if you try to understand Krishna's pastimes with Radharani, that is foolishness. If you do not know Krishna, how can you understand his pastimes with the gopis? That is foolishness. Therefore, we have to understand Krishna first of all. and Krishna himself explaining himself. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna does not speak anything about his pastimes with Radharani. That is strictly prohibited. You never find Krishna speaking about his pastimes with the gopis or with Radharani. No. He is officially speaking about himself. And this and that. Matta paratanam nanya kinchidasti dhananya mami vaja prapaddanti mayame dhantam. First of all, try to understand Krishna. Thoroughly study Bhagavad Gita. And after studying Bhagavad Gita, if you are fortunate enough to understand what is Krishna, then Krishna says, surrender. That is the beginning of understanding Krishna. Don't try to understand the pastimes of Krishna with the gopis. Just like if you make a friend ordinarily, if you become intimate friend, then you can understand about his household affairs. If you are newly a gentleman introduced with another gentleman, you cannot ask him what is the affair in your household or with your wife or with your beloved. That you cannot do. Neither it is possible to understand. So, the foolishness is going on that without understanding Krishna, there are so-called rascal, foolish poets. They are describing Krishna's pastimes with Radha. That is the cause of fall down of the so-called Vaishnavism. Without understanding Krishna, they want to understand the pastimes of. You will find in your country also, I have seen one book written by one Bhattacharya about the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, and the covering page is Radharani's picture naked. So these rascals had made so much havoc, and this book is published by the United Nations. I have seen one book in France. I think some of you might have seen. Anyway, this kind of literature, just like Caitanya Mahaprabhu used to read Gita Govinda, Chandidas, amongst with his confidential devotee. The Gita Govinda, the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna, it is not for the neophyte student. Therefore Caitanya Mahaprabhu, you will find Caitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings, generally he was talking with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he was talking with Prakashananda Saraswati, he was talking with Ramananda Rai, but the subject matter was not the same. When he was talking officially with the Prakashananda Saraswati, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, there is no talk about Krishna's pastimes with Radha. Simply on the basis of Vedanta, he was talking. But when he was talking with Ramananda Rai, he talked about Krishna's pastimes with Radha. So we should be very careful that from the very beginning, just like the professional Bhagavad readers, they Bhagavad reading means describing Ras Leela. Whenever you find there is Bhagavad reading, they are describing. I have seen one big Goswami, he was professional Bhagavad reader. And whenever he speak very nicely on Ras Leela, and after describing Ras Leela Bhagavad reading, he would come for recreation and smoke cigarette. I have seen it. So this kind of Bhagavad reading will not help you. Bhakti parasanubhava virakti annatra syat. If you are actually advancing in devotional service, then the symptom will be that you will have no more material hankering. That is real. So, if you actually hear about Krishna's pastimes with Radharani, then it is roga kamam apohinati, then our heart disease, lusty desires will vanish. That is the result. I have repeatedly said. So, if you become more lusty by seeing the pastimes of Krishna, the Radharani, or hearing, that means you are not fit. Stop it. Stop it. Don't be foolish. So, in the spiritual platform, everything are there, but they are different in quality. Just like iron is also metal and gold is also metal, but the quality is different. Similarly, don't take that Krishna's loving affairs with Radharani is exactly like our loving affair with our girlfriend. No, it is not like. One is gold and one is iron. Don't minimize the value. Therefore, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has described that it is Alladini Shakti. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikiti Alladini Shakti. So this Alladini Shakti is being described in Caitanya Caritamrta. Therefore, Caitanya Caritamrta is the postgraduate study of highly elevated devotees. Ordinary devotees, they cannot understand. I have seen one professional reader, he was reading Caitanya Caritamrta, but he did not believe in it. Because he cannot understand. He cannot understand. He plainly said, these are only imaginary descriptions. There is no fact in it. I have seen it. So, how one can understand this is fact unless one has understood what is spirit? Just like in your country, big professors, they do not believe in the spirit. They simply think of this body. So how they can understand about Radha and Krishna and their pastime or spiritual affairs? So first of all, we must understand what is spirit and what is Krishna and what is Radharani. Then we try to understand what is Krishna and Radharani's loving affairs. So, here it is said that Krishna is feeling how Radharani is so much attracted. That is feeling. Now, Krishna is omniscient. He knows everything. Why he should feel like that? They feel that he knows. But for our understanding, he is displaying, he is manifesting himself. The Radharani's loving affairs is so great and unlimited. Even though I am omniscient, I cannot understand it. Just like Lord Ramchandra. Lord Ramchandra, he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why he felt so much separation that to rescue Sita Devi, he fought with Ravan. He is self-sufficient. Why he should feel separation from Sita? This question may be raised. So actually, there are different phases of loving affairs, and the separation is also one of them. The separation, feeling of separation is one of them. We have got experience in our present life that intense love, still there is feeling of separation. All these things are there in the spiritual world. Only perverted reflection of those spiritual feelings are manifested here in this material world. Therefore, it is called perverted reflection. But everything is there. But they are not material. We should always understand that. Krishna is perfect, Radharani is perfect, and they are always constantly company. Then why there is separation? And still there is separation. These are very high-grade understanding. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu means Krishna feeling separation, Radharani feeling, Radha Bhavaddhiti, Subalitam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taken the position of Srimati Radharani, how to feel separation from Krishna. This is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, it is said, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna nahe anno. If you simply worship Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then you will be able to worship both Radha and Krishna. This is the meaning of this verse. So, Caitanya Caritamrta author Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is describing the cause of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. The cause is that Krishna wanted to know what is there in Radharani. He is Madan Mohan. Krishna's another name is, he is attract. Krishna is attractive to everyone. Even he is attractive to Cupid, Madan. Madan is attractive in the material world. And he is Madan Mohan. And Radharani is Madan Mohan Mohini. Meaning she attracts even the Madan Mohan. Therefore, Krishna is trying to understand what is there in Radharani, that she attracts. I attract the whole universe and she attracts me. So, with this feeling, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, tad bhavadhya lobha. These are all transcendental loving affairs. Lobha. There is greediness to understand. Tad bhavadhya samajani. He appeared in the womb of Mother Sachi, Samajani, Sachigarbha Sindhu, Harindu. Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is like the moon. So we have established this temple, Mayapur Chandroda. So this is the idea, that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is just like moon. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared in this land of Mayapur, Therefore he is said here as the moon. Therefore he said Chandra, Mayapur Chandra. Now, see, Mayapur Chandra is rising. Rising means is to distribute the moon sign all over the world. This is the idea. Moon sign. Sriya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. Sriya Kairava, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally said, don't keep Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu compact in your room and take some monetary profit. This is not required. This is not required. You must allow Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to rise more and more, so that the sun, moon sign may be distributed all over the world. That is want. Therefore, this temple is situated. Of course, we shall try to construct a very nice temple for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This morning we are thinking of this. So, from this place, this moon, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will distribute Sriya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam. The Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Hare Krishna movement, Parang Vijayati Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. This is spoken by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Cheta Darpanamarjanam Bhava Mahadabhagni Nidvapanam Sriya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam. Vidyavadhu Jivanam. This is real enlightenment. People all over the world, they are in darkness. The moon sign will enlighten them. They are all foolish, mura. That is described in Bhagavad Gita also. Navanga duskitanam mura prapadanti naradhama maya puritavjana asuri bhavama. These foolish persons, at the present moment, it is very, very much regrettable that they are passing on as very learned scholars, philosophers, politicians, economists. But according to Krishna's statement in the Bhagavad Gita, they are all fools and rascals. Why? Namang duskitanam mula. They are not surrendering to Krishna. Krishna came, appeared upon this planet, in this universe, to canvass that you surrender. Sarvadharman parittajya mamekam, but they did not. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a devotee of Krishna, he is Krishna. Namo Mahavadharnaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Nam. He is Krishna himself. Krishna is so kind. First of all, he came as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he demanded, as God's order, you surrender. But people did not do it. Therefore, Krishna has again come in the form of devotee. Krishna Chaitanya Nam. Now he is ready to give you not only Krishna, but love of Krishna freely. Take it and distribute it all over the world. That is one thing. Thank you very much. Vandeham Sri Guru.
The following is a class on the Caitanya Charitamrta, Adi Lila, first chapter, text number 7, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on the 31st of March, 1975, Mayapur, India.
Sri Rupam Chakrajatam
May Sri Nityananda Rama be the object of my constant remembrance. Sankarsana, Sheshanaga, and the Vishnus, who lie in the Karna ocean, the Garbha ocean, and the ocean of milk, are his plenary portions, and the portions of his plenary portions.
Sankarsana Karana Toya Sai, Garbho Dukha Sai, Chapayobdhi Sai, Sheshasta Dosyam Sakala, Sanityanandakha Rama, Saranam Mama. So, Kaviraj Goswami, after offering his respectful obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and describing the purpose of his incarnation, he is now trying to describe Nityananda, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Panchatattva, one after another. First of all, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then Nityananda Prabhu, then Advaita Prabhu, then Gadadhar, and then Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda. He is summarizing the obeisances to the Panchatattva. Now, what is the identification of Nityananda Rama? Rama, Balaram, and Baladev, Sankarsana. There are so many names of Sri Baladev. In the Upanishad, it is said, Nayam Atma Balahinena Labhya. Self-realization is not possible without being strengthened by the mercy of Balaram. Sometimes they take it foolishly that without being very strong bodily, nobody can realize self. But that is not the fact. Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhya Na Medhaya Na Bhuna Suti No. This is the Vedic injunction. That Balahinena means without being favored by Nityananda Prabhu, Balaram. Balaram is Nityananda. That we know by following the footprints of Mahajan. Narottam Das Thakur says, Brajendra Nandana Sachi Sutta Hoila Se, Balaram Hoila Nita. Balaram has appeared now as Nityananda. Bala means strength, spiritual strength, and Rama means enjoy. Iti Rama Padenasu Parabrahma iti avidiyat. Rama means Parabrahma. Satyanandi Chidatmani. Ramanti Yogina Ananti. Yogi, they are also interested in enjoying life. There are different kinds of yogis. Of all the yogis, the Bhakti yogi, that is the best. That is said by Krishna, Yogi Namapi Sarvesham Madhugata Antaratmana Sadhyavan Bhajati Yomam Same Yuktatamu. Yogis, there are many yogis, but the Bhakti yogi is the best, because by Bhakti yoga only you can approach the Supreme Personality. There is no other. Gyan, Karma and Hatha Yoga, they can help little, but they are not competent to approach the Supreme Personality. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktamam abhijanati. If you are Krishna, then karma, yoga, gyan, these, although they can elevate you to some extent, but you cannot approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead by karma, gyan, yoga. If you want to know Krishna as he is, then you have to accept the path of bhakti yoga. Krishna says personally, bhaktyamam avijanati javan jaschami tattva. And in order to attain this perfection of bhakti yoga, you require strength from Balaram, Shankara. Ramanti yogina ananti satyanandi chidatmani iti rama padenasu parabrahma vidya. Rama means who enjoys. So this word Rama is explained in the Shastra that one who is expert in enjoying eternal happiness, he is perfect yogi, not flickering happiness. Flickering happiness, the yogis are not interested in flickering happiness or material happiness. Material happiness is always flickering, temporary. That is not happiness, but we take it. Real happiness is when we enjoy life with Krishna, Ram. That is real happiness. Ramanti yogina ananta satyananda. That is ananta. Ananta means unlimited. So, we are seeking after ananda, anandamaya abhyasa. By our nature, we want to be very blissful, always happy. That is our nature. And we can possess, revive our nature of eternal happiness, provided we try to get it in this human form of life. There is no difficulty if we follow the path enunciated by great authorities, Mahajana Jena Gatasya Pantha. So, Nityananda Prabhu, Caitanya Mahaprabhu and their disciples, they are all Mahajana, great personalities. If we follow their principles, then it is very easy. There is no difficulty. But difficulty is that we do not follow. So here it is describing that for the material creation, there are three Purusha avatars. Purusha means the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purusha Sasatam Dibbam. In the Bhagavad Gita it is saying, Purusha avatar. The first avatar, Purusha avatar, is Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu. The Mahavishnu is described in the Brahma Samhita. Jasyaika nishasita kala mathavalamba jivanti lomo vilaja jagadannanatha. Vishnu mahanaja iha kalabhishesha govindamadipurisam tamaham. This Mahavishnu, who is creating innumerable universes by breathing. Just like sometimes we breathe and there are some germs, small, we cannot see. In the same way, the universes in a small, minute form, they are coming out of the breathing of Mahavishnu. That is Karanotha Sai, Karano Udak, causal ocean. That is beginning of creation. Then all the universes gradually develop into gigantic form. And originally it is coming out. We cannot understand. Sometimes we become surprised that how such innumerable universes are being created by a person. So, the universe is not so big in the beginning. It's like this body is not so big in the beginning of our body within the womb of our mother. It is not so big. It is very small, minute, and then it becomes just like a pea, and gradually the body develops. The same process is applicable to the universe. In the beginning, they are coming out of the breathing of Caitanya Vishnu, and then gradually they are developing. Mringahanatya, brihatya, it increases gradually. That Caitanya Vishnu is also Sankarsa. And then Garbhodakshai. The universes are created, then when they develop, then same Vishnu, Mahavishnu, enters into each universe. And he creates an ocean that is called Garbhoda ocean. And he lies down there on Sheshanaga. Then from the enamel the lotus flower sprouts, and then Lord Brahma is created. Then after many years tapo, he understands how to create. In this way, the whole creation of universes takes place. Garbhodakshai. And after creation of this universe, then same Garbhodakshai, within this universe, he creates his own Vaikuntha, where there is an ocean of milk. There are different kinds of ocean we learn from Shastra. We have got experience of the salt ocean, but there are many other oceans. There is just like milk ocean, ghee ocean, oil ocean, and yogurt ocean. They get this information from the Shastra. So, the Mahavishnu, first of all, he enters in each universe and Garbhodakshai. Then within the universe he creates his Vaikuntha and lies down there, Kshirodakshai. This Kshirodakshai Vishnu is approached by the demigods when there is need for maintenance or for subsiding the disturbance by the demons. Then Brahma, Lord Shiva and others, they go on the beach of this milk ocean and submit their appeal. Then the answer is given to Brahma, and he informs to other demigods. This is the process. You will find this later on. So Payodhishai and Shesha, that is also incarnation of Vishnu. He is sustaining the body of Vishnu in different oceans, and he is serving the Lord Vishnu in so many ways. Sajja, asam, sitting place, bed, and upavita, clothes, garments, so many ways he is serving. Now, all these different incarnations of Vishnu is summarized here by Kaviraj Goswami, that all of them are partial expansion of Nityananda. To understand what is Nityananda true, the Prakash Vigraha, Krishna first, then his Prakash Vigraha, manifested form, a little difference in bodily feature, but the same, powerful, that is Balaram. And then from Balaram, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, in this way, quadruple expansion, then Narayan, then another quadruple expansion, then from that quadruple second manifestation of Sankarshan, all these different Vishnus, Karanotodashayi, Gadbhodashayi, Khirogdishayi, in this way expanding. Vipachirevaji rasam taramabhupetya. Just like you take one candle, then you lit up another candle, another candle, another candle. All these candles are equally powerful. But still, the calculation is, Krishna is the first candle, Balaram is the second candle. In this way, Vishnu Taya Vibhati, the expansion of Vishnu, innumerable. Advaita Yachyati Anadi Ananta Rupam. This Kshirodakshaya Vishnu is the person who is situated in every living being's heart. Ishara Sarvabhutanam Riddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. That Ishara, Antajjani, who is existing in everyone's heart, that is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, not only within the heart of all living entities, but he is within the atoms. Andantarastham paramanu, paramanu means atom. In this way, Vishnu expansion are there. It is inconceivable for us, but by the grace of Krishna, we can partially understand from the description of the Shastra. Otherwise, we cannot imagine how these things can happen. But it happens. We have to accept Shastra Chakushya. We have to see through the pages of Shastra. Otherwise, it is not possible. So, if you want to know Vishnu Tattva, if you want to know Krishna, his exalted position, then here are the description of the Shastra, and if we take them as it is, without malinterpretation, without showing any extraordinary intelligence by us, it is not possible. We have to accept. Therefore, the injunction is that you accept the statement of the Shastra. That is Bhagavad Gita also says, the Shastra vidimustrijya vartate kamaka. If you do not follow the description of the Shastra, and if you manufacture something, then na siddhim savapnati, then you will never get perfection. You have to follow the Shastra. Otherwise there is no other alternative to understand the exalted position of Krishna, how he expands in different forms, as Vishnu, as Narayan. Sometimes they argue that Krishna is incarnation of Vishnu. That is also true, you'll find in Caitanya. Truth in this way, that when any incarnation comes, he comes through the Kirodhisai, Vishnu. But Kirodhisai is partial expansion of Krishna. The subject matter is very intricate, but if we follow this Shastra and accept it, then some clear conception we can have. So Nityananda Rama, so this song called Sa Nityananda Rama. Nityananda is Balaram, therefore he said Nityananda Akya Ram. Just like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna Chaitanya Namini. I offer my respectful obeisances to Krishna, now appeared as Krishna Chaitanya. He is Krishna. Similarly, Nityananda is Balaram. So, Balaram Hoila Nitai. Therefore, it is said here, Nityananda Kya Rama. He is Rama, Balaram, but at the present moment, he has appeared by the name Nityananda. Thank you very much.
Very good.
Vandeham Sri Guru.
The following is a class on the Caitanya Charitamrta, Adi Lila, first chapter, text number 8, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on the 1st of April, 1975, in Mayapur, India.
Sri Rupam Chakrajatam.
I surrender unto the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, who is known as Sankarshana in the midst of the Chaturvyuha, consisting of Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. He possesses full opulences and resides in Vaikuntha Loka, far beyond the material creation.
Maya Site Vyapi Vaikuntha Loke Purnai Sajje Sri Chaturbhya Madhe Rupam Jasya Udbhati Sankarsanakyam Tam Sri Nityananda Ramam Prabhade. So, identification of Nityananda Prabhu. He is the second Sankarsana also. The first Sankarsana, Vasudev Sankarsana, Pradyumna Aniruddha, whole quadruple expansion of Balaram. Then from Sankarsana, first Sankarsana, the Narayan, four-handed Narayan, that is the next expansion. And again, from Narayan, there is another quadruple expansion. Second, Sankarsana, Vasudev, Pradyumna. So, the second Sankarsana also is expansion of Nityananda Ram, Balaram. So, where is this Vaikuntha Loka? It is rather imprudent to inquire, because we cannot calculate even this material world, what is the length and breadth of this universe. This is only one universe. This is called Maik Brahmanda. Maya means shadow. Shadow is existing on account of the real. Therefore it is called Maya. Just like the example is, in your country, in the window, there are many nice model, beautiful woman standing, or a man standing, nicely dressed. But that is not real man or woman, that is shadow. That is called Maya. This is the example of Maya. Maya means it is not fact, but it appears like fact. That is called Maya. Another example is just like the mirage, water in the desert. Actually there is no water, but it appears that there is water. The foolish animal, they run after this water, but there is no water. Simply running after will-o'-the-wisp, phantasmagoria. So, every one of us in this material world hankering after happiness. Everyone is trying to be happy, but it is like the same that there is no water in the desert and still the foolish animal running after it. So this whole material creation is like that. The creator of this universe, Krishna, he says, Dukkhalayam asasratam. This is the place for suffering, and you are seeking after happiness. Just like in the prison house, it is the place for suffering, and if you want to be comfortable, this is called Maya. Maya sukhaya bharamud bhato vimura. The whole world is running after happiness, what is not possible. Therefore, they have been described as vimura, rascal. We sometimes use this word very frequently, rascals, and they become angry. But actually that is the description. Rascals, all these so-called civilized men, they are not men even, they are all animals. But in the Shastra they have been described as Deepa the Poshu. They are animals, but they have got 2 legs, that's all. That is the difference. Animals, generally, they have 4 legs, Chatushpa. But these animals have 2 legs, that is it. They are animals. Because, the same example, in the desert, there is no water, and the animal is running after it. Why he is called animal? Because he does not understand that in the desert how there can be water. Vidyapati has sung a song, Tatala saikate bari bindu sama, sutamita ramani sama. We are trying to be happy here in this material world. How? Sutamita ramani samaya. Suta means children, Mito means friends, society, friendship and love, wife, children, Tata. So, one may say, unless there is no happiness, how they are struggling for this Sutamita Ramani Samaj. So Vidyapati says, yes, there is happiness. Certainly there is happiness. Otherwise why these Vimura, foolish people running after? So he says that the value of the happiness is a proportion of a drop of water in the desert. Tatala saikate. Tatala means very hot. And saikate means sand. Those who have seen desert, they have got experience how it is intolerable during sunshine. Vast tract of land with sand. So, naturally they require water. So, if somebody says, yes, I will give you water, and a drop of water, what is called? Proportionate token. It is called token. Yes, you want water, take this water, drop. Now what this water will do? This is desert, I want ocean of water, and you are giving me drop of water, what is value? So still we are seeking water there. Therefore it is rightly said, Tatala saikate bari bindu sama. Bari bindu Sutamita Ramani Samaji. Dehapatta Kalatradishu Atma Saineshu Asassu Api Pramatta Tasya Nidhanam Passannapi Napassati. Dehapatta Kalatradishu. This body, Deha. Apatta, children, Kalatra, wife, Adishu, with all these things, then again extend from children, get them married, then again extend daughter-in-law, son-in-law, grandson. In this way, we are increasing our so-called happiness, Atma Saineshu, and we are thinking that these surrounding friends, society, friends and love, nation will give me protection. In our country I have seen Gandhi struggled so and hard for getting independence, thinking that we will be happy, but Gandhi himself was killed. So this is called Maya. You try to understand Maya. Maya means where there is no happiness, no fact, and still we are struggling for it. This is called Maya. Try to understand what is Maya. Maya sukhaya bharamus bhavatu vimura. Prahlad Maharaj. Actually there is no fact, and still we are struggling for it. The whole universe is like that. Even you are situated as Brahma, or you are situated as an ordinary insignificant ant. This struggle for existence is going on. So, Prahlad Maharaj says that these rascals, they are struggling for existence, for happiness which is not possible in this material world. And beyond this struggling atmosphere a material world. Maya Otite. Otite. Otite means beyond. Maya Otite. Vyapi Vaikuntha Loke. There is another word that is also informed in the Bhagavad Gita. Parah tasmat bhava anya bhaktya sanatana. There is another bhava. Bhava means nature. Just like this is nature, we have got experience. The Maya nature means here our main aim is to find out happiness. That is because we are spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. Satchidananda Vigraha, Krishna. So we are also minute Satchit Ananda. Our existence is like that. But because we are very small, therefore that, I mean to say, quality, soft, becomes sometimes extinguished. The example is just like the spark of the fire. It is fire. A spark from the fire falls on your body. As soon as it falls, it will burn that small point-like place. So it has got the same quality, but as soon as it comes out of the fire, it becomes extinguished. No more fire, it is carbon. Again take it and put it in the fire, then again it is fire. So, our position is like that. We are actually of the same quality, Sat Chit Ananda. So, our falling down in this material world from Krishna means we lose our identity of eternity. It becomes covered, just like the same small spark. It is fire, but it is now extinguished. Cinder, there's a coal cinder. So long it is with the original fire, it is also burning. But if you take it and keep it aside, then it becomes acid. So this is our position. And we are struggling here. We have lost the fiery quality, and still we are trying to be fire. This is called Maya, existence. So there is another word, that information is given here. Mayatite Vyapi. Vyapi means very extensive. This whole material world is 1/4 of Krishna's expansion. 1/4. And that Vaikuntha Loka is 3/4. So therefore it is called Vyapi. Vyapi means very extensive. We cannot calculate even this material existence. It is only 1/4. Now, how it will be possible for us to calculate the Vyapi Vaikuntha Loka? Vyapi Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha means means without, and Kuntha means anxiety. So Vaikuntha Loka means there is no anxiety. There is no anxiety. Here, we are full of anxiety in this material. Even big businessman who has got enough money, he will find he is in anxiety. He is always thinking how this business will go on, how this maintains. So many men So, I have seen it that our printer, Diana, the president, when for the temporary, we stopped our business, he was full of anxiety. Now they have agreed to reduce 10% more than any printer. Why? He was full of anxiety. This is the fact. So don't think that very big businessman or one who has got enough money, he has no anxiety. Anxiety there should be. This is the place of anxiety. Kuntha. Prahlad Maharaj pointed it out that tat sadhu manni surabhajyadehina sada samudvigna dhyam asatgraha. Here in this material world, whoever is there, the Brahma is also full of anxiety. Indra, Prithu Maharaj was sacrificing 100 times, and Indra became very much anxious that if Prithu becomes so great, then he may occupy my seat. So he wanted to put hindrances so that he may not fulfill so many yajnas. So everyone is anxiety in this material world, Maya. So our Krishna consciousness movement is to take a personal, all of them, from this Maya to Vaikuntha. That is the Krishna consciousness. To save the living entity from anxiety and bring him to the platform of no anxiety. That is the difference. From anxiety to no anxiety. That is the greatest gift to the human society. Everyone is full of anxiety because he is in this material world. He must be full of anxiety. So here the information is given. Mayatite vyapi vaikuntha loka. There is another atmosphere, another nature, where there is no anxiety. No anxiety. Kalpavrikkha lakha britesu surabhi ravipalantam. Here we are keeping cows, but no milk. Anxiety. Thousands of rupees spending and no milk, powder. You see, this is the position. Full of anxiety, all. So, you cannot be free from anxiety in this world. Therefore, in this life, in human form of life, you can understand by cultivating knowledge from the Shastra, from Guru, from saintly persons, what is the position, what I want, why I am full of anxiety, how it can be mitigated. So, therefore, this information is given. Vaikuntha loka. Back to home. Jadgatyana nivartante tadhamam paramam mamam. The Krishna consciousness movement is the only endeavor where by becoming Krishna conscious, you become transferred from this Maya to Vaikuntha. This is the purpose. Maya Tite, beyond this Maya, there is another kingdom where there is no Kuntha, Vaikuntha Loka. And there is management. As here, there is management. The king or president or ministers and so many things. There is also management. But that management is conducted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead personally. Here, the president or king manages whole thing, and therefore the ideal manager or the executive head is a person who is a saintly person and devotee. That is one. In politics also, there is need of devotee. The devotee, the politician, they first require to understand Krishna consciousness. If they actually want to do good to others, if they remain like animals, it is not possible. Then whole world, the people will suffer. That is the position.